Good morning, everybody. I'm Jens Hinrichsen, head of sales and marketing, actually marketing and business development. Sorry about that, Jeff, with Versafe. Quick show of hands. Who here believes they might have a device that's infected with financial malware? It's a rhetorical question. The fact is, every one of us in this room is actually infected if you've been to this website. Look familiar? Because of a vulnerability in the content management system of the FinovateFall website, each of us has on our devices Zeus, SpyEye, Carburp, and other financial malware that will at some point actually execute monies out of our account. Now, about 10 or 15% of us, because of based on where we actually bank, would have seen this screen come up when we logged into our account. So we would have logged in, we would have seen this screen, or we wouldn't have seen that screen, right? So basically, it's a message. We've just authenticated into our online banking account or our 401k, our healthcare account, whatever the case is. We see this friendly-looking message from our organization saying, pleased to offer you enhanced security. Sounds great, right? Well, let's go in and we're going to actually use our mobile device. We're going to scan this QR code. That's going to take us to a place where we can get enhanced online protection. And if you're able to see this right here, it says, I love my bank security. It's a native mobile app that's going to download to our mobile device. Sounds great, right? Well, that's actually the Perkle mobile malware. And what it's meant to do, one of the many things it does, is it reroutes one-time passwords or multi-factor codes to an attacker so they can execute a transaction and you don't get the code. Now, I'm joking, of course. Not all of us are infected with these things, but the point is, as business leaders in our organization, whether you're the CISO, the CIO, the CSO, the CEO, it doesn't matter. What we're trying to do is protect the integrity of the online relationship without having to use basically any user involvement whatsoever. The user today, you have two options today. One is to ask your user, to download a piece of additional endpoint software. They have to be involved. And if you're lucky, maybe you get, say, the first 6 rows of us to do it, right? Now, the reality is we can't do that. We have to remove the user from the security equation. They don't have that onus. They don't deserve to have that onus. So what we have the opportunity today, and this is where the Versafe solution comes in. So the Versafe solution today is the only that enables us to protect each of our users from all malware and online threat types, all devices, all transparently. Sound too good to be true, probably. But the reality is, within a couple of days, we would have the opportunity to provide user-base-wide protection to our entire user base. So let's look at a couple things here. So we were actually going to just log into our account here. This is actually the client dashboard that shows all of the critical information that we at Versafe are able to capture about attacks, about infected users, what details about the IPs of the command and control center, details about drop zones, mule accounts, and the like. So what we see here is essentially our special sauce is at the application layer. So what we're doing is we're saying, go away from trying to protect the endpoint. That's a losing battle. Bring the fight to the application layer, and we're deployed basically as an SDK or through one of our technology partners at the web application and the native mobile application layer, and we're trained to look for any type of malicious data exchange between the endpoint and the application. If it's a piece of malware trying to inject a field asking for your user's credit card, social security number, challenge questions like that, we can detect that. But the more important part is we're protecting it proactively in real time. Through a one-time public key, we are encrypting all of the critical data exchange, whether it be credentials, account and profile information, transaction data, so that even if an attacker gets that data and sends it off to their drop zone to use, to sell in the underground or whatever the case is, it's rendered useless. So that's the whole premise. We're protecting in real time all data exchange, and we're also able to detect exactly what maliciously might be trying to be done to that application. It can cover man-in-the-middle attacks, man-in-the-browser, 0 days, you name it. The whole point is there's too much malicious stuff out in the wild, and we can't, again, rely on our users to actually defend themselves. So a couple examples here that I want to walk through. This is the genesis of our solution. This says copied pages. Years ago, we came up with the idea of, again, bringing the fight to the application and putting our obfuscated, polymorphically positioned code on the website. So if an attacker went to the website, copied it with the intent of using it for a phishing attack, loaded it to a spoof domain, we knew about it before it would go live. So a lot of our clients would come to us saying, we're tired of hearing about phishing attacks from our end users. Help us. So we were able to actually detect attacks before they went live. And even if end users received a phishing email and fell prey, because our code was on that phishing site, we could tell our customers exactly which of their customers fell prey to the scam. That same premise applies to malware. And so on this dashboard, we can also see what malicious scripts have been detected, infected users. We are also able to detect once somebody has authenticated and they're in the system, we're able to detect whether they're genuine or not. The whole idea is looking for, perhaps fields that have been skipped, automated transactions and the like. The whole point is that this is code at the application layer. It's critical data that can be used from the very front end of the user lifecycle all the way downstream. And the point is we have to remove the end user from the equation. Let's protect all users from all malware, all devices, and do it transparently. Thanks so much. Hope to see you at our booth.